Right now, without realizing it, you are copying someone. Maybe it is the way you tilted your head just slightly when you read that sentence. Maybe it is the posture you slipped into an hour ago when you sat next to a calm person and your shoulders quietly dropped. Maybe it was the accent you unconsciously borrowed from a new friend after spending a weekend together. You did not choose to do any of this, but your brain did it anyway. This is not charm. This is not charisma. This is a survival mechanism so old it predates language itself. Scientists call it the chameleon effect, and once you understand it, you will never look at another person the same way again. In 1999, psychologists Tanya, Chartrand, and Bargh ran a deceptively simple experiment at New York University. They brought strangers into a room and had them work alongside a person who was secretly part of the study. That person was told to either rub their face periodically or shake their foot. The strangers did not know this. The camera did. And what the footage revealed stunned even the researchers. The strangers began mirroring the exact behaviors within minutes. Face rubbing led to face rubbing. Foot shaking led to foot shaking. None of the participants had any idea they were doing it. When asked afterward, they denied it entirely. Chartrand and Bargh called it the chameleon effect because, like a chameleon, your body is constantly reading its environment and adjusting without asking your permission. The question is why? Why would your brain waste precious energy mimicking the movements of people around you? The answer goes back much further than psychology labs. Go back roughly 2 million years. Your ancestors are not living alone. Solitude at that point in history is not a lifestyle choice. It is a death sentence. Predators are everywhere. Resources are scarce. Shelter is temporary. The only true competitive advantage your ancestors have is each other. But a group only functions if the individuals inside it can read each other fast. There is no language yet. No written warnings. No verbal signals with enough nuance to coordinate the kind of rapid, wordless cooperation a hunting party or a threat response requires. What your ancestors needed was a system that ran below language. A way to feel what the person next to them was feeling before a single word was exchanged. That system was the body. When the person beside you flinches, your body flinches. When they freeze, yours tightens. When they relax, your nervous system gets the signal that the environment is safe. You were not copying them on purpose. You were syncing with them because syncing was survival. The individuals who could not do this, who stayed in their own private physical world and failed to mirror the emotional states of the group, were the ones who missed the warning. The ones who did not run when the group ran. The ones who did not survive. Mirroring is not a social habit. It is an ancient alarm system that repurposed itself into a social tool. This is where the neuroscience gets remarkable. In the early 1990s, neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti and his team at the University of Parma were studying motor neurons in macaque monkeys. A motor neuron fires when you perform an action, reach for food, and a specific set of neurons fire. Standard result, nothing unusual. But one afternoon, something completely unexpected happened. A researcher reached for his own lunch while a monkey sat observing, and the monkey's motor neurons fired. The same neurons that would have fired if the monkey itself had reached for the food activated, simply because the monkey watched someone else do it. Rizzolatti called them mirror neurons. And for the next 2 decades, researchers debated whether humans have them too. The evidence now strongly suggests we do. When you watch someone stub their toe, a faint echo of that pain activates in your own brain. When you watch someone smile, the muscles around your own mouth begin to flicker slightly, even if your face does not visibly move. When you sit across from someone who is anxious, Your body chemistry begins to shift before your conscious mind has had time to register that the other person seems nervous. Your brain does not cleanly separate what you do from what you observe. It partially simulates both. Now, here is the counterintuitive part. You might assume that mimicry is a sign of weakness, a sign that you are easily influenced, that you lack a solid sense of self. The opposite is true. Research consistently shows that the people who mirror others most effectively are rated as more likable, more trustworthy, and more persuasive. Not because they are being manipulative, but because their nervous systems are more attuned. They are better social listeners. They pick up more signal. They make the people around them feel genuinely seen. Chartrand and Bargh demonstrated this too. When a confederate in their study mirrored a participant's behaviors, those participants afterward described the interaction as significantly smoother, more harmonious, more enjoyable, even though they had no idea they had been mirrored. The feeling of being understood arrived at the level of the body, not the mind. Think about the conversations that have stayed with you, the ones that felt effortless, the ones where the other person seemed to just get it, where something clicked, where time disappeared and you walked away feeling energized. The odds are high that a significant amount of nonverbal mirroring was happening in those moments. Your gestures were finding their echoes. Your pauses were being honored. Your energy was being matched and returned. Conversely, think about a conversation that felt draining, where you felt subtly unseen, slightly off, as if you were speaking to someone on a different frequency. In many of those cases, the physical synchrony was absent. The person was physically present, but neurologically somewhere else. The body always knows before the brain does. This matters beyond just social situations. Research by Ulf Dimberg at Uppsala University used electromyography, which is a method of measuring tiny electrical signals in facial muscles, to show that people automatically and unconsciously activate facial muscle responses within milliseconds of seeing emotional expressions. Not seconds, milliseconds. The emotional response in your body comes before you have consciously registered that someone else is feeling something. Your face is already responding to the world before your thoughts catch up. And this is where it gets personal, because the mirror effect does not just run outward, it runs inward too. When you hold a posture of confidence, even artificially, your body begins producing the neurological signals associated with confidence. When you physically adopt a posture of collapse, of a hunched back and downward gaze, your body starts generating the chemistry of withdrawal. Social psychologist Amy Cuddy's research at Harvard, while debated and refined in subsequent years, pointed at something the broader neuroscience had been circling for decades. The body does not just express the mind, it shapes it. You are not separate from your posture. Your posture is part of how you think. So, what does all of this mean for you right now? It means that every room you walk into is already talking. The bodies inside it are broadcasting. Your nervous system is receiving. You are syncing to frequencies you did not consciously tune to. The slouched colleague 2 desks away is contributing something to your energy level. The calm, grounded person you always feel better after seeing is doing something to your nervous system that has very little to do with their words. You are not a sealed unit moving through space. You are a porous, resonant biological system that has been shaped by millions of years of needing to stay in sync with the group. The chameleon effect does not disappear when you learn about it. If anything, awareness sharpens it. You start noticing the pull. The moment your body wants to lean forward because the person across from you leaned forward. The way tension enters a room like a weather system, and your shoulders register it before your eyes do. You cannot opt out of this system, but you can choose how to work with it. The most attuned people in any room are not the loudest or the most articulate. They are the ones whose bodies are paying the most honest attention. They are the ones who are unconsciously fluent in a language that has no alphabet, that was never written down, that your ancestors used to survive before language existed. Right now, without realizing it, someone is reading your body. They are syncing to you. They are letting your presence shape theirs, and you are doing the same to them. You have been doing this your entire life. You just did not have a name for it.